historical figures, these supporting characters might be the most important Franciscans in the novel. In the book, as in life, Casale and Cesena represented a branch of the Franciscan order known as the Fraticelli, or spiritual Franciscans. These spirituals advocated for an extreme interpretation of the rule of St. Francis, especially with regard to ecclesiastical poverty. And this question of poverty was a quintessential theological question throughout the late medieval period. They thought that just as Christ had been poor and owned nothing save what he shared with his brothers, so too should religious disavow all material ownership and live in community. Such considerations date to the founding of the Franciscan order in the 12th century, when Saints Francis and Clare both gave up lives of wealth, privilege, and influence to live in austerity and close solidarity with communities of the faithful. Some spirituals went so far as to claim that the wealth of many churchmen made their status as priests invalid. And as you might imagine, this radical view of poverty brought them into conflict with the church hierarchy, leading to charges of heresy, excommunication, and even personal danger. Casale and Cesena, both of whom started priestly life as academics, faced all of these consequences. Each was censured by the papacy, excommunicated, forced to seek shelter with other orders and secular authorities, and either exiled or imprisoned. While I only glimpsed their stories in The Name of the Rose, their commitment to the poor caught the interest of the farm boy who had once unselfconsciously observed the world at the side of a priest from the top of the manure pile. The next two Franciscans I encountered were similarly incorrigible. As I began to study my discipline, I learned about two men who could be called the forefathers of American anthropology. Friar Bernardino de Sahagún came to New Spain in 1529. In an era when so many Franciscans advanced the doctrine of discovery and were implicated in dismantling Native American societies, Sahagún stood out for his effort to understand Native people. Together with his students, both Spanish and Nahua, what many of us know as Aztec, he set out to gather information about traditional language and life. The team produced several written works in Latin, in Spanish, and in Nahuatl, the indigenous language of central Mexico, including their magnum opus, the Historia General de las Casas de la Nueva España, published in 1576. Those of you who study art history might know the most famous extant example of this document. This is called the Florentine Codex. Each page of the Historia General has two columns of writing. The history of New Spain told in Nahuatl, in that native language, on one side, and in Spanish on the other. But the translation from Nahuatl to Spanish is not always faithful. Important details are obscured or omitted. This is the case, for example, in descriptions of Cortés's conquest of the Nahua. The Spanish description is quite anodyne. A later edition even praises Cortés. But the Nahuatl text describes the conquest in unflattering, sometimes gory detail. Some have suggested that the Nahua scribes got one over on the Franciscans, hiding the bloody truth of the conquest in plain sight. But given that Sahagún had lived and worked among the Nahua for more than 25 years, it seems more likely that he knew what was being related in the Nahuatl text and collaborated in hiding it, offering Spanish translations that were less likely to alert the Inquisition in order to document the true horror of the colonial endeavor. Half a continent away, and a generation later, in 1623, a French Récollet friar named Gabriel Sagard arrived in Quebec. Sagard helped establish a mission on the eastern shores of Lake Huron, about 100 miles north of what is now Toronto. During the years Sagard spent among the Wendat, the people we often call the Huron, he visited a range of Wendat people, worked to learn their language, and documented what he saw. He later produced a series of books based on this experience, and his Grand Voyage au Pays des Hurons, published in 1632, and Histoire du Canada, published in 1636, continued to be cited among the best ethno-historic accounts of everyday life among the Wendat. What remains little remarked upon, however, is Sagar's advocacy on behalf of Native peoples. He noted that French business ventures and the bad actions of some French colonists were the biggest obstacles to the Christian conversion of New France. This observation sat uncomfortably with the French crown, presenting a conflict of interests. While the king wished to generate profit, he also had long-standing commitments to the church. In the end, Sagar's claims that more needed to be done to protect Native peoples from the worldly greed seem to have been responsible for the decision by the king to send the powerful Jesuit order to undertake the missionization of New France and the protection of its people. I came to admire not only the erudition of these two Franciscan scholars, but also their willingness to take political action on behalf of their adopted communities. Thus, I was especially delighted when I later encountered liberation theology. While we don't much talk about it in North America today, liberation theology was an important force throughout Latin America during the second half of the last century. Its blend of Christian exegesis, secular socioeconomic analysis, and call to engage in meaningful political praxis grew up in direct response to the authoritarian regimes that developed throughout Latin America with the breakup of large colonial empires. A cornerstone of liberation theology is a commitment to what Peruvian philosopher and Dominican priest Gustavo Gutierrez has described as, quote, a preferential option for the poor. Liberation theologists are called upon to work in poor communities to overcome the unnatural affliction of poverty, which leads to the, quote, early and unjust death, end quote, of God's people. If this sounds familiar, it should. The Franciscan intellectual tradition has played this song for us before. Hearing in it the distinctive voice of St. Francis, the Franciscan order in Brazil became particularly enamored of liberation theology. And it was one of these Franciscans, the theologian Leonardo Boff, who most captured my attention as a college student. When I first encountered Boff's work, which treats not only the bodies and the souls of impoverished people, but also the health of our relationships to the land and to all of creation, he had recently been silenced for the second time by Pope John Paul II and then Cardinal Ratzinger. Ratzinger was at that time the head of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, and he would go on to become Pope Benedict XVI. Feeling that his message and cause were both right and just, Boff chose to leave the Franciscan order and priestly ministry. But, like Ubertino di Casale and Michele di Cesena before him, Boff continues the work of social and environmental justice rooted in the Franciscan intellectual tradition. Many of his ideas and those of his Brazilian Franciscan mentors are echoed in the recent work of Pope Francis, a Jesuit, but a man whose professional and priestly formation occurred in direct conversation with Latin America's liberation theologists, including the neighboring Franciscans from Brazil. Admittedly, I've taken the road less traveled by in this discussion of Franciscan excommunicants, heretics, apostates, and malcontents. But as every anthropologist will tell you, we often learn the most about a society by examining the people and the ideas that dwell near its edges. Each of the Franciscan religions I have discussed tonight were deeply committed to the idea that transformation might be accomplished through radical compassion, solidarity with the poor, respect for the dignity of all persons, and meaningful praxis to ensure justice and peace for all. In this sense, they all share the core values upon which Villa Maria College is founded. However, this brief consideration of the rogues of the Franciscan intellectual tradition reveals an important lesson. That realizing these core values often requires of us a measure of bravery and a commitment to speak the truth to power, regardless of the personal consequences. This is a spiritual calling that I can support and that I can respond to. And it's one that I'm happy to share with my students and with my colleagues. Thank you for your kind attention.
For Villa Maria College to perpetuate the mission of St. Francis, it needs talented faculty and staff members who live the college's core values each and every day. Tonight, we honor some of our distinguished faculty members. The recipients of our awards can take pride that they have been nominated and recognized by their peers. Our first award is for the Outstanding Faculty Member of the Year. The Outstanding Faculty Member of the Year award is given to a full-time faculty member for outstanding achievements in multiple areas of faculty responsibility. The awardee has exceeded expected performance in various combinations of instruction, advisement, service to the department, service to the college, scholarship, and recruitment. The awardee exemplifies the college mission, a commitment to excellence in all aspects of the position, and professional success. The award is given annually. To present this year's award for Outstanding Faculty Member, I invite Bob Grzani, Assistant Professor of Graphic Design and Chair of Fine Arts and Design, to the podium. Professor Grzani.
Thank you, Dr. Hartman, for the introduction. And again, tonight I'm here to present the Outstanding Faculty of the Year Award. And I'm pleased to announce this year's recipient is Jeff Warner. Since 2018, Jeff's been a dedicated family member here, or faculty member here, and family member here at Villa Maria College. You know, the past fall, he was appointed chair of the Digital Media Arts Department, overseeing the animation, game design, and digital filmmaking programs. And Jeff's been instrumental in updating our animation, as well as developing our game design program, and most recently, a newly proposed motion design program. Jeff's a very hardworking and versatile member of our faculty. Always willing to lend a hand, he's extremely bright and has a very wry sense of humor. You can spot him a mile away with the signature dress shirt and tie. And you can often hear his jovial laugh. As Professor Amborski has quipped, you can hear him clear down the hallway. It's infectious. For these and many more reasons, too numerous to list this evening, I'm very honored to present this year's Outstanding Faculty of the Year Award to Jeff Warner.
Thank you, I guess.
Thank you, Professor Grzani, and congratulations, Professor Warner. The second faculty award we are presenting is the Faculty Achievement Award. The Faculty Achievement Award is given to a long-serving full-time faculty member to recognize distinguished achievement and commitment to the college and its mission. Eligible candidates must have at least 10 years of continuous employment as full-time faculty members. The awardee must not only fulfill and exceed expectations in all areas of faculty responsibility, but there must be evidence of demonstrable, specific achievements that have helped the college fulfill its mission. The award is given only when merited. To present this year's Faculty Achievement Award, I invite Dr. Giordano, President of Villa Maria College. Dr. Giordano.
Good evening, everyone. It is great to be here with all of you. It's so nice to be here in person. This is the first time we've held an event like this, really all year, and I just want to take a second to thank Dr. Hartnett and everyone involved with making a commitment to hold this in person and putting on the event. It's a real honor for me to present this award, the Faculty Achievement Award. And this year, the Faculty Achievement Award goes to English Professor Liz Battaglia. Professor Battaglia has been teaching at Villa Maria College for 15 years. In that time, she's held a number of leadership roles, including serving as chair of the Faculty Senate, running for a brief time the Student Success Center, and currently directing the Honors Program. She's been heavily involved in curriculum revision and curriculum building, helping the college to offer relevant programs and courses that prepare students for success. Professor Battaglia is committed to continued learning and scholarship, holding 2 master's degrees. She's highly respected among her peers and is well liked by her students, both as an instructor and as an advisor. Professor Battaglia is deeply dedicated to her students, always finding new ways of teaching them and serving them more effectively. Moreover, she is an absolute pleasure to work with. She is humble, professional, kind, and always focused on getting the job done. She exemplifies Villa's core values and lives out the Villa way. For your many achievements, Professor Battaglia, please come to the podium and accept this award.
Thank you to my fellow faculty and administration. Thank you so much.
In addition to our full-time faculty, Villa Maria College is fortunate to have a contingency of part-time faculty members who provide exceptional instruction, who are committed to the college's mission, and who routinely go above and beyond what is asked of them. Tonight, we honor some of our part-time faculty members in each of our departments. I would ask Dr. Ann Rivera, Dean of Faculty, to start us off in presenting our Outstanding Part-Time Faculty Awards. Dr. Rivera.
Good evening. Part-time faculty are critical to the education of students across higher education, and there are just too few opportunities to honor their contributions. This is why we at Villa believe that it's so important that we recognize their excellence. Our part-time faculty are strong and valued colleagues. Dedicated to the Villa way, they share their expertise with their students and colleagues through their teaching and support of their programs. As President Giordano explains, Villa means home, and way is another word for road. Our part-time colleagues help make Villa a home for our students and enable them to build the road that will lead to their future successes. They put students first, share their skills and knowledge, and make creativity and innovation the very center of their classrooms. I am fortunate to have the privilege of working with our part-time faculty, and I am consistently impressed with their compassion, skill, and dedication, particularly during COVID. They ensured and continue to ensure that students are supported and learning in an extremely difficult and stressful time. We are indebted to our part-time colleagues, and we are grateful that they choose to share our gifts here with us at Villa. It's my great pleasure to introduce the chairs who will present the awards to our part-time faculty. I now invite Jeff Warner, Chair of Digital Media Arts, to the podium to present the award.
Thank you. So as Department Chair of Digital Media Arts, our part-time faculty award this year goes to Sarah Mann and Avi Alexandris. I hope I said that right. Not only has Sarah and Avi practically run our digital film department since John left, but they participated in many of our committees, both to create new programs and to improve our department. Both of you have been truly committed to our students and our community, and we couldn't have done this without you. So thank you very much. Congratulations.
Bersani, Chair of Fine Arts and Design, up to present the next award.
I am back again. Again, I'm here to present the Outstanding Part-Time Faculty of the Year Award for Fine Arts and Design Department. And I'm pleased to announce this year's recipient is Richard Christian. And Richard, right over here. Richard has been a truly committed and long-serving part-time faculty member in our Fine Arts Department for the past 12 years. I think I've got that right. I looked it up. He teaches figure drawing, color theory, two-dimensional design courses while overseeing our models and procuring our open figure drawing sessions. This is a testament to his dedication and loyalty to our institution. He personifies a giving spirit and a level of expertise in his field that's hard to match. As Professor Weekly reminded me, Richard is a fan of comic books and superheroes, which is most appropriate for tonight's event. So it's my pleasure to present this year's Outstanding Part-Time Faculty of the Year Award to Richard Christian. Come on up.
Thank you very much. And thank you to the wonderful administrators, faculty, and students at Illinois College. Thank you again.
I now invite Kim Cox, Chair of Health Sciences, up to the podium. Thank you, Dr. Brenner. The outstanding part-time faculty member in the Health Sciences Department is Michelle Elias. As an adjunct faculty member in the Occupational Therapy Assistant Program, Michelle has taught in several foundational courses, including kinesiology, OT in rehabilitation settings, and OT in developmental settings. She has mentored Villa OTA students as a clinical instructor in her private practice and helps prepare students for the NEBCOT, the National Licensing Exam for OTs and OTAs. She holds students to a high standard, providing support to help them achieve their goals. Michelle's flexibility, knowledge, experience, and enthusiasm make her a very valuable asset to the OTA program and students and to the Health Science Department. I'm pleased to present this award to Michelle Elias.
Thank you so much to the rehab department. I appreciate it. I love teaching. OT is awesome, and I can't wait to see the department grow. I now invite Dr. Will Meyer, Chair of Humanities and Social Sciences, up to the podium.
Hello again. About 2 years ago, when it was clear I was going to be taking the chair's position, I realized I would have to give up some classes. And Dr. Rivera will let you know that that's hard for me. I like my classes, I like control. So I contacted a friend at UB to ask if there was a PhD candidate in anthropology who could take over teaching classes in sociology, global studies, and anthropology. And he sent me one of his students, Devin Ansels. Devin is our recipient of the Humanities and Social Sciences Award. And I was so happy when my colleagues told me that Devin would be the recipient because I didn't want to keep my finger on that scale. Devin has been a lifesaver. He has stepped up to take on new classes outside of his own discipline. He has helped us design curriculum, both new classes, and he's participated in the design of a new program. He brings his perspective as another first-generation student and as a veteran to teaching his classes, and he takes good care of his students. He gets to know them on a personal level, and that's everything I could have hoped for when I gave up some control. So Devin, come on up and get your award, man, and thank you for being my lifeline.
I just want to say thank you for this award, and I want to thank Dr. Mel, for support. And most importantly, I'd like to thank my students. You made me who I am. So, thank you so much.
I now invite Todd Baker, Chair of Natural Sciences and Professional Studies, up to the podium.
It's my pleasure tonight to announce the award for outstanding part-time instructor in natural sciences. That is to Dave Scowen. Now, Dave is a little bit of an unusual choice in that he is a full-time employee of the college, but he is not a full-time employee of my department. He is an academic coach in the Student Success Center. But almost from the time that he started that position, which is extraordinarily demanding in and of itself, he has also taught math courses for me. Now, when I first started here, I was hired as a math instructor, and I've gotten further and further away from many of those courses. Teach only a couple a year now. What I've come to find is that Dave Scowen is now the face of mathematics here at the college because he teaches so many more students than anyone else does. So again, it is my pleasure tonight to give this award to Dave Scowen.
Due to his other duties, Dave was unable to be with us tonight, but we will be sure to give him the award. And now, finally, I invite Anthony D'Succio, our Chair of Music, to the podium.
All right. It is my pleasure to give the Music Department Part-Time Faculty Award to Mr. Ron Licurdo. I know I joke about this to Ron on a regular basis, but every time I hear him play, I feel like I need to go home and practice my guitar. I don't have a lot of time here, but I wanted to say a few things about Ron. We're extremely lucky to have him. What he does with the rock ensemble, in addition to his music lessons, is a true testament to his ability to convey musical ideas, foster collaboration, and maintain student engagement. He takes students from all levels. Many of our students have never played in a band before, let alone an instrument before. And we also have students who've been out gigging since they've been in middle school. Ron asks these students to collaborate, and he puts on an amazing concert at the end of the semester. April 28th, we'll be streaming it, just so you know. This concert is a perfect illustration of Ron's ability to engage, teach, and inspire our students, and we're grateful to you, Ron, for being here. So please come up and get your award.
I'd just like to quickly say thank you to my fellow teachers and administration for the honor of teaching here at Phillip, and also to thank my students who make me a better teacher than I am, and hopefully the teacher that I want to be. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Rivera. Thank you, chairs, and congratulations to our part-time faculty members. It is now my honor and privilege to once again introduce the president of Villa Maria College, Dr. Matthew Giordano.
Thank you again. In addition to the faculty members whom we've already honored, I would like to recognize 4 full-time faculty members who have been promoted this year. I ask each of them to stand up as I call your name with your new rank. Bob Verzanti has been promoted to Associate Professor. Adam Weekly to Associate Professor. Jeff Werner to Assistant Professor. And Julie Zach to Associate Professor. To each of our esteemed faculty members, thank you for your dedicated service to students, to service to the college, and to scholarship as you carry out the mission of Villa Maria College. Please join me in a round of applause for our faculty.
Thank you, Dr. Giordano. Congratulations to each of the faculty being promoted to the new rank. We've now reached the point in our program to begin honoring our students, the reason we're all truly here. I would ask that each of our faculty presenters please approach the podium in order of the program and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Valerie Borski. I'm an instructor in the animation program. So this year's outstanding student in animation goes to Molly Monica. Molly is an exceptional student who is incredibly passionate about her work. From the first day I met her in Animation Pre-Production 1, it was clear that Molly would be at the top of her class for the duration of her time here at Villa Maria College. She is consistently creative, productive, inquisitive, and never hesitates to help her classmates. Congratulations and keep up the good work, Molly. Hi, I'm Sarah Mann from Digital Filmmaking and Super Media Solutions. She and I tonight wish to honor junior Derek Ditkowski, who unfortunately can't be here tonight. Over the last 3 years, Derek has been challenging himself as a filmmaker and a video editor, both in and outside of the classroom. And his work this year has stood out from the rest. By far, it is his best yet. During this difficult year, he has maintained consistent attendance and grades. He is currently advising on the Red Carpet Night Planning Committee, which is our annual year-end festival. Avi and I are very proud of Derek's accomplishments and cannot wait to see what awaits him in his next and final senior year and beyond. So congratulations, Derek.
Hello again. So this evening, for game design, our outstanding student award goes to Sam Speciale, which again, I don't think he was able to make it tonight. But Sam not only is a dedicated student and a pleasure to have in class, but he's always trying to push what he's learned in new directions. When I get an assignment from him, I know that it's going to be more than what I asked for. And this is what's going to lead to a successful career. So congratulations.
I'm back for one more time. I'm Bob Verzanti, and I'm chair of the Fine Arts and Design Department here at the college. And it's a privilege for me to present the award for Outstanding Student in the Fashion Design and Merchandising Program this evening. And again, I'm pleased to announce this year's recipient is Denisha. And I don't know if Denisha's here with us this evening. You're not very rare. Dr. Childs, professor in our graphic design program, has written a little something for Denisha, so I'm just going to read this. It was a pleasure for me to nominate Denisha Mann for the Outstanding Student in Fashion Design and Merchandising Award, a junior in our Bachelor of Fine Arts program Denisha is a dedicated student. She's been able to balance being a first-time mother, her academics, and her work. Denisha is the first student in our program to attend the Magic Fashion Trade Show in Las Vegas as a buyer. She is persistent in accomplishing her goals in fashion merchandising and e-commerce, and is genuinely an inspiration to have in this classroom. So I just want to thank Dr. Childs for those very kind words to Denisha. And again, it's with great pleasure that I present this well-deserved award to Denisha.
Hello, everyone. So tonight, I'm very proud to present Tracy Mendocino with our outstanding student finance. Tracy exhibits a blend of two qualities that are present in the best artists. She is incredibly ambitious and exceedingly humble. This combination means that she works tirelessly to make her art better while also being open to suggestions and criticism. She pairs her dedication as an artist with a constant desire to care for those around her, offering assistance and often snacks to her classmates and making sure that everyone has what they need. She improves the lives of those around her through her support and is an example of excellence. It is with great pleasure that we present this award to her tonight. And just so you know, down in the gallery, she's got some beautiful work up on the back wall, and it's my mistake that it's not. But there's two panels on the wall and then a piece on her dress form, so please stop that and see
Good evening. I'm Julie Zack, tonight. Our 2021 recipient of the Outstanding Student in Graphic Design Award is Caitlin Spector. She couldn't be here tonight, but Kate could earn this award on her massive, impressive work ethic alone. She's also driven to find differentiated solutions, brave enough to try things that might not work, but often do. Professional with a really dry sense of humor. Eager to improve and willing to help her peers in class and as a peer tutor. With her natural grace and humility, she landed 2 internships and won an American Advertising Award this past year during the pandemic. So she's highly talented, and Bob and I are thrilled to honor her tonight.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jesse Wall. I'm a professor in the Interior Design program, and my colleagues and I would like to honor our outstanding student, Emily Love, tonight. She is outstanding. She is a great student. She is an honor student. She is president of the Interior Design Club. She is a student ambassador. She's an orientation leader. She has a 4.0 GPA. She's never gotten a B. She's never even thought of it. And on top of all of this, she is generous and kind and always a positive force in our interior design program. One of her classmates was speaking about her the other day, a good student as well. And she said, I don't know how Emily does it. She does everything. She's busy all the time. She finishes everything. She does it really well. So please join me in putting your hands together for Emily Love, our outstanding.
Snyder on the professor in the photography program. And tonight I am happy to announce Kelly Thomas for the Outstanding Student Award in the photography program. Kelly is a highly motivated